What up, guys? It's your boy Jack Dripmode, and I am back. And man, what a crazy week it has been here in Texas. We just went through a winter storm for the past week. No power, no water. And man, I tell you, it was an experience, but thank God everything was good, everything is safe, and I got everything restored. So now I'm back. Two, I want to say thank you to everybody for subscribing, up to 10,000 subscribers.
Yes! Yes!
I just can't believe it. I can't believe it. And for some reason, my last video really kicked it up a notch with that Ninja Turtle rooftop. You guys just go crazy when it comes to Ninja Turtles. So I want to say just thank you for the support. And for you new people, thank you for subscribing. You guys have a lot of content to binge watch. But today's video is going to be a personal dial for my collection. So first I want to show you the toy I want to build a dial for. Boom! Here you go, guys. Here is Spawn. This is the Spawn from Mortal Kombat. Todd McFarlane has been, collaborating with Mortal Kombat 11, and now you can play with him as a playable character. But he was able to give us that character back, and this is his baby. Spawn is his baby. So for you old school collectors, you know what's up with Spawn. And for you new people, Spawn is one of the original characters from like Todd McFarlane's creations. He's the godfather of comic books, he's the godfather of toys, and Spawn was one of his iconic characters. And I'm just glad to see that he's back, and he's bringing this guy back harder than ever. And this is not the only figure that he's actually built recently. This is the Mortal Kombat one, but he also did a Kickstarter one that unfortunately I wasn't able to get my hands on, but I'm just happy that I was able to get this guy. Now I do have all the old school ones as well, and the dial that I want to build can be versatile. I could definitely use those figures as well, but I want to build the dial for this guy right here. So now let me talk about the dial. Now the dial that I want to talk about, that I want to build for this Spawn, is just getting a whole bunch of iconic references from Spawn. Now for those that know about Spawn, like he's a character that like he has this crazy cape, he has chains, and obviously his outfit is just unmissable. But when it comes to kind of sceneries, there's not really much besides skulls, graveyards, and Celtic crucifix on top of churches. So when thinking about that, it made me think, you know what? I want to just mash all those references into one dial. So I'm thinking about doing some type of graveyard statuette with a crucifix, and that kind of inspired me from like looking at all the Spawn like statues. When you look at the Spawn statues, he's always sitting on something, he's always standing on something. So I kind of want to go in the same direction where I want to build him kind of like a hill, like a graveyard hill, and have a crucifix on the top where I'm able to put the figure in front of it, or maybe put the figure on top of the crucifix. So that's kind of the inspiration that I'm going with this style, and man, it's gonna be pretty cool because it's it's gonna be for my personal collection. So guys, let's get to it. So here is a quick sketch of what I'm gonna go for. So we got a crucifix on top of a mountain or a hill, and you got all these skulls kind of crowding it around. Debating on putting some bricks to kind of give it that graveyard type of detail, I guess you want to say. But yeah. This is the direction I'm going to go with, guys. thinking right now. Got a nice base that I'm gonna be able to convert it into a mountain of skulls. And then you could definitely also take out the cross. You put the cross, and you can actually have him sit on the cross. So yeah, I gave it leverage so it could stand on its own. So, you know, should I put foam and go over with clay, or just go straight with into carving and adding a little bit of clay? Still debating on that. That's gonna be pretty cool. Alright, so next up, I'm gonna end up wrapping this whole bottom base with foil to try to make it look more like a kind of like a little mountain, a little hill. Next up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be covering this whole base with my DOS clay, just to kind of give it more of a realistic mountain look. So I already covered it with the foil. That's going to help me not use so much clay, but the clay is also going to get hard, so it's going to make this base really strong. Next up is I'm going to be adding the details as the clay is wet, and I won't be adding a whole bunch of skulls. Got it from a guy on eBay that does 3D printing. Pretty good deal, I think like 30 for 25. Placing them all around the hill just to give it its character, you know. Spawn looks like he's always on top of some type of grave, so there's a lot of skulls. Alright, just to kind of add some texture to the mountain or to the hill, I'm going to be using some of this granite scenery. So it's just kind of like little pebbles. Okay. What I'll be doing is I'm going to just sprinkle it all over, and I'm just going to start pressing. Alrighty guys, so this is where I'm at so far. Gonna now start Mod Podging it, priming it, so I can see all those details and then see where I could add more details after I Mod Podge it.
Like me saying, hey, you're Indian. Doesn't your cousin work in the call center? My cousin does work in the call center.
now that the pieces are done, now I'm gonna go into painting the base coats, then go into dry brushing. But let's get the base coats out of the way first. There we go, got a little base going on there. Let's see how it looks once it dries up. Next up is gonna be the cross, and I'm gonna be using some warm buff. I buy all my paint at Walmart. These paints are like $1 or 75 cents. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna dry brush. So I got some of that warm buff. And start brushing. Finished dry brushing it, and then I just finished washing it now, just to kind of blend in. Before I had it just black. You see that white detail going on right there? See, that's from the dry brushing. And then when I go over with the black wash, it kind of blends it in, like puts everything almost in the same plane together. Look at that, like. There's so much going on right there. This is not just the black and the white. This is the black, the dry brushing, and the washing. And look at that. It kind of just puts it all together. Alrighty, now next up is painting these details. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to try different techniques. Nothing really planned here, but got some nutmeg. I got some classic caramel. I'm going to be trying some variations here, see how it looks. Alright, next up is the red. So next up now we're gonna be doing is a black wash. Alrighty, now the final touch is to dry brush. Da-da-da-da. Here you go, guys. Here's my Spawn Graveyard Diorama. And guys, this simple dial was a mashup of a couple of iconic references from Spawn. When you see Spawn, he's always on top of skulls. He's always on a graveyard. And he's always behind or on top of this Celtic crucifix. So I wanted to build something kind of like a statuette type of diorama, and to be able to put any figure that I have in my collection from Spawn. As you can see here, we got the Mortal Kombat Spawn, but hopefully I'll be able to get my hands on the Kickstarter. But I can also use my old school Spawns. One detail I wanted to point out is that I added in the video is I also added some chains. When you see Spawn in action, he's always using his chains. Now the base is strong enough to hold this cross, and you're able to put any figure on top. So as you can see in the back, there's this wooden stick, and I'm also able to remove it if I have to. And this base is made out of clay, so it definitely helps the cross reinforce and give it its strong base, so I can put any figure on top of it. But yeah, guys, that's it. There you go. This is my Spawn Graveyard Diorama. It was a real simple build, and it was a piece that I finally wanted to have in my collection for my Spawns. But yeah, guys, that's it. A real simple dial. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys learned something from this video. And guys, hit that like button, write a comment, and if you haven't yet, hit subscribe. Guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.